So let's move on to AEW Dynamite from Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. There we go. And it started with the opening, which is just the Young Bucks and the Elite and Jack Perry still, who have taken over the show after they have beaten up the owner and put him out injured, basically.
I didn't think they would do this 2 weeks in a row. But they did.
No, they run this show now.
Yeah, they are.
The Young Bucks do. So we'll get back to that in a minute. But let me gloss through. I'm going to gloss through a lot of it, just mention it. What was on tap. Oh, this guy was really proud of his girlfriend's titties.
What the hell was that? I heard about this, but I didn't see it.
The dude, live. I guess, I don't know if that's his girlfriend, but the camera's on them. Right next to someone who's dressed like Orange Cassidy, by the way. But as soon as the guy notices that they're on camera, the guy pulls his girlfriend's titty out. And there you go, twice. He was like, look, you gotta see this. So,
wow.
And that was during Orange Cassidy's entrance. And it was a grudge match to open the show. Orange Cassidy against Trent. Big deal. This was a heel turn for Trent, who left the Best Friends, and they ended up having their feud, their blow off here on Dynamite. Robert, or did you think they should have saved this for Double or Nothing?
They should have had this on Rampage. What the hell are you guys talking about?
Sure, I guess.
you guys nuts. I'm sorry, Robert. That was a question dedicated to you, but I couldn't keep myself. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, they did have a big battle, okay? I'm going to forward most of it. I know. The one thing I did realize that was interesting was that, look at this clock in the corner that they were trying to lead to.
Oh.
This Christian swerve face-off, which they kind of went away from. Like, they started it at first, and then, 30 minutes into the show, they weren't really doing that anymore. So, I thought that was a good idea, though. But,
yeah, people could stick into the top of that for the top of the hour, sure.
Yeah, but how did this end? Oh, actually, I thought this had an interesting ending, where Trent ripped off the turnbuckle pad, like he was going to use it, and then the ref didn't see that Orange Cassidy did the same thing on the other side, and then Orange Cassidy cheated to win the match. So when Trent came over, he pushed him into the turnbuckle pad where there was no turnbuckle pad, and pinned him. And there's had a big afterbirth, or a big aftermath, when Trent couldn't really take the loss and he attacks him, and then Don Callis is there for some reason. I don't know what the fuck this is about, Vlad. Did you notice that? He pile drived him on the steps, and then Orange Cassidy gets up from that, and Don Callis comes, and for some reason grabs Orange Cassidy and walks away with Orange Cassidy while Chris Statlander comes to talk to Trent and tell him, "What are you doing? We're friends." What is Don Callis doing with Orange Cassidy? This is weird.
I don't get it.
I don't fucking get that. What the hell is that going to lead to? But yeah, Statlander's trying to talk sense into Trent, but Trent's like, "No, I'm not doing the friends thing anymore. It got me nowhere." All right, that was the first 20 minutes of the show.
Well, he's right about that, though. I mean, that part is true. It got him nowhere. That part.
Robert, what do you want to say about this? What's going on here?
Well, before talking about the feud, I just want to point out the one spot where Trent did the pile driver on Orange Cassidy on the steel steps. He did the version of the pile driver where you land on your butt. The same version of the pile driver that Owen Hart did to Stone Cold when Stone Cold got injured, and that was the first thought that came to my head when he did it that way on the steel steps was Stone Cold's injury. And right after I thought that, one of the announcers or commentators said, "Stone Cold eyes right there." I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yes. Okay.
So as soon as I thought of Stone Cold, the commentator said Stone Cold. Anyways, all right, this feud, I'm not sure how I feel about this feud, but what's really confusing to me is Don Callis's involvement in it. That I don't get it. So I
Yeah,
don't
that's a
know.
little bit of a twist that they're trying
Yeah.
to throw into it. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if Don Callis is trying to get Orange Cassidy into the Don Callis family or what, but
It doesn't
I'm
seem
just
like a good fit, but okay, sure.
I'm just replaying a lot of the damage that Orange Cassidy took and then, got up from like pretty quickly. So Orange Cassidy, as we all know, is pretty infallible. But all right, Vlad. Yeah, well, that's the joke about it, right? He's too infallible for how he looks. Like he just got pile driven, and here he is back on his feet, ready to go. So, all right, Vlad. For the most part, we have skipped over Orange Cassidy stuff when we do our reviews, just because it's very unrealistic and not good. So, in honor of you, I will go ahead and skip this too. I mean, we said what happened. Well, you don't need to review it or say what you think of it. I mean, people can surmise what we think of it based on how much of a joke that we've kind of noticed this segment to be. Like, come on, a pile driver on the steps, and he's already back on his feet in less than a minute. So
yeah,
it's not
ridiculous.
good.
You're right.
This is not good.
Well, I said this should be on Rampage, so I mean that's all that you need to know about what I think of this whole feud and segment and everybody else involved in it. So yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Young Bucks, the executive vice presidents. They show up and they park in Tony Khan's parking spot, and they're kind of bragging about how they put him out and stuff. Jack Perry, they show something he recorded the previous week where he talked about Kenny Omega after they left him laying, and Jack Perry is he's like Simba when Simba was trying to roar at the hyenas, but he was a little kid. He was like, rah, rah.
That's a good one. That's a good Lion King reference.
He's got the beard too. He's got he looks like a lion. Looks like a little lion. But he's trying to act tough here, okay?
Yeah.
So here's Jack Perry. He's kind of with the Elite now. He's not a member of the Elite, but he's saying that the Elite don't need Kenny Omega anymore and that they're going to do their thing where they change the world. That's their thing. That's the Elite's thing, right? We said we're going to change the world with AEW. There is so little chance of them changing the world with AEW. It's not even funny. But maybe that's the joke. I don't know.
No, I was just going to real quick, I'll say this, that, it wasn't a bad promo if you just, don't know Perry. Like, if you, if it was just like somebody else and you just didn't know who this guy was and you didn't know that he got his ass kicked by CM Punk and they played the video and all that stuff that has gone on and everything that's gone, it would be like, or if we just didn't know this guy at all and he was like some big tough guy, but the water bottle, and then throwing the bottle and then just whatever. It was just kind of laughable and kind of, to me, it was kind of silly. But it was a decent promo if you just look at it, just in a vacuum, I guess, is what I'll say.
Yeah, he threw the water on his face and then threw it. And then while he was trying to cut his promo, the water was in his nose. So he was kind of snorting and stuff.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right, Robert. Any comments about Jack Perry here before I move on?
Nothing really. I just thought it was a decent promo, especially compared to what he usually does for promos. So, but that's about it. Nothing more to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, it is the return of heel Jack Perry. I mean, he's been out for a while. We kind of thought he was starting to get it rolling, right, in that feud with Hook that led into All In. It was his first feud as a heel, and at the beginning it was a little rocky, and then we were kind of digging it, and it was kind of funny, but maybe it's because it was all true. That was really, he became this person, that's why when he went up to CM Punk, he really thought he was going to beat him up.
All right. I got nothing to add to that.
But yeah, my point is, it's been a long time since he's been here trying to be a heel, so he's getting back into the swing of it. I just don't think he's really in the storyline. This whole thing with the elite and, you know, being rebellious against the owner, like, it's falling flat because it's obviously fake and phony. So this is not the feud for him to be trying to showcase him as a heel. That's my opinion. I think he could be a good heel, but I think this whole thing is falling flat. So that's why it's just I'm almost like just not wanting to even take this whole storyline seriously at all. Robert is saying give it time because after the attack on Tony Khan the previous week or 2 weeks ago, Robert is saying this is in the early stages. Let's see if something happens. I'm at the point where I'm like, man, this whole thing is so dumb. I don't even really care about it anymore. But I'm going to move along unless anyone has any comments.
No, that's fine.
Flat agrees. Flat agrees. All right, let's see what I got next. The Professor, Serena Deeb. She cut a promo about how she was, or Tony Schiavone was up on the entrance ramp to interview her, and she talked about her seizures and stuff. Sorry, pressed that by accident. And that she's very focused on becoming world champion, right, basically. And Tony Storm came out to... Well, actually, Tony Storm said some pretty funny stuff here. I might want to play some of it.
It was a charity case. So here, you better take this.
Oh, so... so she was talking about how Serena Deeb was just complaining and crying, and it's a charity case, so she pulls money out of her bra and throws it at Serena Deeb. So she's got money in her boobs.
Right on the chest, too. Interesting.
And then the next funny thing she said, if I could skip forward a little minute
Tony,
here.
I highly suggest that you start giving a shit and you start taking this seriously.
Oh, this is Serena Deeb's response.
I have quite literally fought for my life, and at Double or Nothing, I'm going to fight for my life to finally become AEW Women's Champion.
Here's Tony Storm.
Everything you've gone through, Serena, I can honestly tell you that I don't give a single solitary shit.
And then the way she looks at her.
Tony Storm.
Straight nose to nose. She doesn't give a shit that Serena Deeb was having seizures and a health problem. She doesn't give a shit. She's just a crybaby. Anyways, he tries to get a sucker punch sneak attack in, but Serena Deeb,
she took that well.
This is the part that I laughed at the heart. That's why I kind of laughed when you went to this bookmark, as I remember her just being laid out and Tony Schiavone just looking at her.
Well, Luther has to come in and obviously carry her to the back. So
this is actually pretty hilarious.
Yeah, funny.
I don't know what's gonna happen though. I mean, should they give the title to Serena Deeb, Vlad, or what?
I do not think so. No, I do not think so.
You're not thinking they're going? I mean, it's like one of those, what do you call them? Redemption stories, or not redemption, but comeback story. She's had a tough time health-wise.
Oh yeah, but we didn't really know about that until that show.
She just barely brought it up.
She just brought it up. It's not like something that they've been pushing or even saying until just recently. I mean, if she's been going through those issues and they wanted to put that in an angle and they wanted to actually push her, then why are they only bringing it up now when there's like 2? I mean, they still have some time. I guess there's a couple weeks before the pay-per-view, but I don't know. I do not think Serena Deeb should win based on the fact that if they really wanted to, they could have done this before.
Man, I kind of think she should win. I don't know. Robert, what do you think?
Okay, so remember last week when I said that I saw star potential in Mariah May and that I think she should be pushed? I don't know if that was considered like a hot take or not, but I'm going to double down on that and say I think she should probably be the one to actually dethrone Tony. That would be like she's already in like the perfect spot for to set up an angle.
Mariah May. Interesting.
Yeah, the protege beating, like they can set up this whole idols become rivals storyline, and Mariah May eventually takes the belt from Tony. That's what I think. So I'm kind of doubling down from my statement from last week. So because of that, I do not think Serena Deeb's gonna win.
All right. Actually, that's a good point. All right, let me move on with the show. Orange Cassidy and Rocky Romero. Let's skip. Here's Mariah May. Speaking of Mariah May, she's here to face Harley Cameron. Actually, this is a very interesting match to me, just because I like when there's new wrestlers.
Harley Cameron dressed up as Saraya.
Yeah, she's in the Outcast.
With the same mannerisms too.
Yeah, Saraya's there to train her, watch out for her, manage her, I guess, for the night. So, Harley Cameron, who I follow on social media, she's very, you could tell that she works hard, she wants a chance, she's really been dying for a chance, and here's a chance to showcase herself. And the thing with AEW, though, I actually watched this match just to see, I think she did alright, but the thing with AEW is that even if you do all right, even if you do pretty good and you deserve maybe more time on the show or a push, Tony Khan is just not coherent enough to actually make a plan to put you on the show and give you like stories or angles or things to do. So she could have done pretty well here, but I don't see Tony Khan actually, being organized enough with all the things he has to do to. But she gave her a chance for this show, and she had a pretty good match. There was a few spots that I think she doesn't look very unnatural. You see those kicks? They look all right, I don't think she looks that bad. She looks good in my opinion. So, but anyways, the ending of the match was Mariah May won, and Saraya came in for the post-match beatdown. And did you see that the camera I think was waiting? Someone was supposed to come out,
and no one did.
No one comes out.
I thought they were just trying to show that Tony Storm is not coming out to help her. I thought that was the point.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's the way I looked at it.
All right. And then this girl, I guess, who was Mariah May's tag team partner in Japan, comes out to save her, Mina Shirakawa, and. Anyways, I guess their gimmick in Japan was that they were like together, or something.
I have no idea.
I actually have no idea what the hell is going on here.
They were lesbians, or
that's interesting.
Because they made out on a episode of Dynamite a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they did. I skipped over that.
The one in Jacksonville.
Robert.
How come I didn't see this? Nobody pointed this out to me.
Why do you know so many details about that?
Well, no, that's something to know. That's something accurate.
No, Vlad, I noticed that, and I didn't put it on our review because it just wasn't something that I thought we had time for.
But yeah, we didn't go over it in our.
Are you kidding me? Of all the things that are happening, we don't have time for two.
Well, any of these Japanese girls that come from Japan, you're always like kind of dissing them and not giving them a chance. So that's why.
I absolutely do not care about any of the angles that are happening here. But the fact that they made out, I'd like to at least get a clip of.
They didn't make out. It was a kiss. But
all right.
Anyways,
it was a peck.
Call back to the HLA era of Eric Bischoff in 2003. But anyways, if anybody knows, but
yeah, I don't have anything to say about this because I don't even know what the hell this was. This whole match, what? I don't know.
Well, it's Harley, like Robert saying.
You said you see something in Harley Cameron? Is that her name? I don't see it.
I think she's all right, but I don't think she's.
I see zero. Zip. Less than zero.
Oh my God. All right, okay. All right. But yeah, according to Robert, this is going to lead to a rift between Mariah May and Tony Storm, which
that I do see. That is right. He's right about that. That I agree.
Okay. All right, let me move along because we're already past our hour mark. That was our goal. So let's try to hit whatever's left on Dynamite real quick.
Sure.
Pac is going to feud with the Trios champions, the Bullet Club Gold or whatever. but I'm going to skip this angle too because I'm not a big fan of it. If anyone wants to stop me, you can stop me, but otherwise I'm moving on. Malachi Black is feuding with... The House of Black is feuding with Edge. I'm also skipping this feud too, man. I'm so not into this feud. If anyone wants to stop me, I don't know. I don't think it's a good use of Edge, personally.
No one's been trying to stop you. I can tell. No one's gonna try to stop. Okay, I'll speak for myself. I will not try to stop you.
All right. Moving on. Oh, the Change the World guys, the Young Bucks. They're here. They're in charge of the show, supposedly, right? They're in the gorilla position that Tony Khan would be in if he wasn't out injured. But anyways, moving on to Swerve. Swerve comes out and calls out Christian because Christian left him lane. So he's like, come out, motherfucker. We're going to fight, right? Right now. And then Christian comes out, and Christian basically says he's going to get in there and steal his gold teeth, right? And then Swerve said he wasn't alone, and then the Mogul Embassy was there to watch his back. But, this is actually where I'm going to press pause and play some of what Swerve said, because he is our champion. And let's see how his promo abilities are progressing.
The patriarch of AEW, you got here for playing the politic game. I had to work my ass off and get beat down and get back up to be AEW World Champion. Don't you forget that.
Well, Christian's put in his dues too, but okay, come on.
So I dare you. Come get it. Come take my gold teeth. Come take my gold championship. Oh, that's right. You won't. That'll put Christian in a very uncomfortable position, wouldn't it? And we all know when Christian's faced in an uncomfortable position, he's going to say, I quit.
Oh, that hurts.
That was a stiff one.
That hurts. For once, I agree with Shivani. That was a stiff one. As you know, Christian said he quit in his match against Edge on Dynamite, but Christian had a plan. The Mogul Embassy was here to turn on Swerve, actually. So once again, Christian gets the upper hand on Swerve. Swerve called out Christian, but he's going to end up laying on his back at the end of this segment, getting his ass beat, as the Mogul Embassy is going to put a bunch of moves on him. Powerbomb, what do you call this? A throw down powerbomb or something? I don't know, that was a cool move, but yeah. I couldn't really make out what Brian Cage was yelling at Swerve right there, like there was any kind of reason for this, why. But, I mean, he hadn't used the Mogul Embassy for a long-ass time, right?
Right.
So,
yes, there is some reason in kind of, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but he kind of explained it on Collision, and I know somebody's going to ask who the hell is watching Collision. I'm glad, why are you watching Collision when you all valid points, but I went through it really quick to get a bearer of what happened, and he did kind of explain that it's because, like, yeah, Swerve is only using him, and they only call him when, like, when he needs help, but he doesn't, him and Nana are just using them, and they're done with Nana and Swerve, which actually, in a sense, I was like, you know what? That actually is correct.
Yeah, that's not bad. But they're not going to use the Mogul Embassy for anything good. But they do look good. I mean, all three of them. The Gates of Agony and Brian Cage, they look like...
I especially like the Gates of Agony.
Yeah, WWE could use them, like, for real.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Swerve is going to get beat down again, so... This is a continuation of the Swerve Christian feud. I like this segment, though. This was probably my favorite thing on the show, I think. I'm going to move on, though.
Well, I just have a quick thought. I know.
Sure. No, go. If you have thoughts, just stop me, man. I'm just moving along as fast as I can. But anything you guys want to say, go ahead.
I know, just real quick. I know we're pressed for time. But just the fact that since Swerve won the title, the only time we've really seen him is just him getting his ass kicked. not really the best way to introduce your new champion. I mean, I understand they want to show Christian as a legit challenger, and but a new champion, kind of a new era type of thing, sort of deal.
Well, he's probably gonna beat Christian though.
Well, sure, yes, of course, yes, that goes without saying that he definitely should, but that's not the point. I think the point is like, you really want to see this guy continuously being laid out like that. I don't know. I'm a little weary of that, and I wouldn't really book it that way. But okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine as long as he gets over in the end and he wins. But all right, moving along. This is Christian in the back with the EVPs, the Young Bucks. You know, pleasure doing business with y'all. So, because Swerve dissed the EVPs, remember? That's why they sent Christian out there to be his rival for the next title shot. But moving along, this was a review of that hardcore match that Sky Blue and Willow had on Rampage the week before, which I didn't see any of it, but it looked pretty crazy, man. It was Sky Blue's turn to take the massive bumps for the audience that night. But okay. A backstage promo with Willow, who was looking pretty good in my opinion. She was talking about Mercedes Moné and how
Are you ready? Are you ready for me?
she put her out, you know, and she, you know, basically saying that she was just better than her. I want to summarize it because I don't really want to play all of Willow's promo. But Mercedes cut another one at the end of the night, so they had dueling promos against each other, and I thought they were both pretty good. If anyone has any comments on Willow or Mercedes, I guess I'll let you guys go.
I don't think Willow said anything like profound, and she doesn't usually do during her promos. But I will say she does sound like a natural on the mic. Like she sounds like she's very comfortable talking. You know. Yeah. That's what that I can say. While other wrestlers, when they do their promos, you can tell like they rehearse. It feels very rehearsed. Like, you know, a lot of their lines are memorized. She just sounds natural to me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I like Willow. Yeah. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I like her
too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
Samoa Joe is working out again after losing the title, so they're trying to keep him in the storyline, in the loop. But I don't know if this is making him look good. I mean, does he look beast here, Vlad? Does he look like he looks like a fat guy who's trying to get in shape?
Well, that's a good point.
He's like, look how hard I'm working.
Here we go again.
I think they were trying to make him. They were trying to make him look like, hey, he's a badass and he's coming to get you. But like, dude, are you afraid of this guy? I don't think I'd be afraid of this guy.
Well, yes,
but,
we know that Samoa Joe's actually a legit badass. So the fact that we know that, makes you think that you would probably be afraid of.
Is he a legit badass? Why do we know that? I don't know that.
He trains with one of the OGs of the UFC, Tito Ortiz. Like he trains with him.
Oh my God. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna move on for this though. I'm just glossing over this.
Okay. And yes, I do think Samoa Joe is a legit badass for real. Like I think he could beat people's ass, like for real.
All right. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want Samoa Joe getting on my bad side. Then. Yeah. I'm not gonna be like, I could kick Samoa Joe's ass.
Well,
maybe I could tire him out. Maybe I could tire him out, make him move around the ring and stuff. You know.
Yeah. Floyd Mayweather a bit. You
know? Moving on. Oh, speaking of out of shape, Chris Jericho is starting to lose it a little bit.
That's a great segue.
I completely fast forwarded through this. All right, I didn't pay attention to this segment at all. So I don't know what was that.
He had what was it? It was a squash match, a tag team squash match, whatever. Okay. I didn't even put the ending. But I think Chris Jericho, just blatant disrespect for the business at this point.
He got the highest rating on Cage Match.
He was talking about how his match last week got the highest rating on CageMatch.com, which is a bullshit website where they do star ratings. I mean, and he's legitimizing them on this
He got the
fucking show.
highest rating on Cage Match, if you can believe that. We chopped each other 79 times. He headbutted me with a garbage can. I threw a hockey puck in his face. Que sera,
See,
right?
he's joking about this, Flat. This is madness. This is madness. This is like a promo that would give Cornette an aneurysm, right?
It will. Once he reviews it, will, because Cornette, first of all, Cornette and Brian Last said that match with Shibata was one of the worst matches they've ever seen. I didn't really watch it enough to comment to say if it was one of the worst matches of all time or one of the worst things they've ever seen on AEW. I mean, based on, yes, I heard that they chopped each other like 80 times, but I honestly swear to God, I did not watch a single second of it. So I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it was as bad as Cornette said it was, based on the fact that they chopped each other that many times. I would hate it, but Jericho's becoming like just literally like a caricature of himself at this point. He's not even. I don't even know what the hell this is or what he's even doing. I know it's supposed to be like tongue in cheek, but it's really it really is not working for me at all.
It's horribly disrespectful also to the wrestling business, man. I gotta say. I mean, look, I know we all know kayfabe is dead, and people are on their Twitters talking about their real life away from wrestling. So yeah, it's not the same as it used to be. But God, man, you can at least try to be a little serious about this shit, man, and try to make the people at least believe some of it. But fuck this guy, honestly. I'm moving on. So Shivani came in to announce that Hook's gonna be back next week. So that was the end of this segment. After Chris Jericho cracked him on the face with a baseball bat at the last pay-per-view. So I guess we'll see what happens there. Edge was the main event against Brody King, right? And this was a hardcore no DQ match. And
yes, that's good.
Edge won. I'm skipping all of it. Look, this was like 20 minutes or something. This was a really long match. They had a lot of time left on the show. And there was an afterbirth where Brody King tried to attack Edge, but that was thwarted by Kyle O'Reilly. But I don't really want to get into that too much. I'll move on to Mercedes Moné. We talked about how Willow cut a promo earlier. I like Mercedes' promo here. She just sounds a little robotic is the problem. I like what she says. It's just that, I don't know. Her delivery is a little off, which a lot of people have said. She's received some criticism about this. But the final segment of the show. So this is the last thing we're going to talk about on this segment today. That's all we have for AEW and WWE, but Okada came out and talked about Kenny Omega, and Kenny was on the show earlier, right?
Yeah,
did I skip over that?
I think you did. You skipped that part where he was laying in the hospital.
He was laying in a hospital bed after they beat his ass last week, and he set up a 4-on-4 Anarchy no DQ match, War Games or whatever type of match against the Elite, but he's not going to be in it because he's out hurt. So it's going to be FTR and two people that we don't know yet, which is bullshit. I'm going to fucking rip this feud apart, man. This Anarchy in the Arena match, I think, is the worst match of any fucking major feud that I've seen between two factions in AEW. But okay.
That's hard to say, but okay. I mean, maybe. I'd like to hear your reasoning of why it's the worst, but maybe.
Okada, well, yeah, let's see who the contestants are in the match, and then we'll talk about it. But Okada comes out, talks about Kenny Omega, and Robert, this is a rehash, not a rehash, but a callback to the greatest match in wrestling history at the Tokyo Dome between Okada and Kenny Omega. So they're continuing their feud. The greatest. But what is Okada saying? That he's now the best bout machine, right?
Right.
Get well soon. Mwah.
That's all he said. They get Okada to remember. He can remember one or two lines in English, and that's all he says for every show.
Oh, Cody.
Yes, Cody, the Japanese Cody Rhodes with the suit and the blonde hair. Yeah. But anyways, this is where... Oh, you know what? Slightly interesting. they did explain why they attacked Tony Khan. They said that Tony Khan was getting in their way of helping the company. So that's why they beat him up and took over the show. Okay? And, which, okay, that was kind of true, though. Tony Khan is the guy who is in the way of this show becoming a good show, but the Young Bucks aren't the answer. Anyways.
Absolutely. Can somebody actually do this, beat his ass, but not the Young Bucks, not this group?
Yeah, exactly.
So we could save AEW?
Yeah, if they were trying to save AEW from Tony Khan, I'm like, okay, cool, but like you guys aren't the guys.
But not these guys. Anybody but these guys. These guys would be the last people I want. I think I'd rather have Tony Khan than these guys. But anyways, okay.
So FTR comes out, and they announced their 2 tag team partners for this Double or Nothing Anarchy in the Arena match. And the first guy is Eddie Kingston. And the last guy is Bryan Danielson, who they were like surprised that he's back because he was convulsing in his match against Will Ospreay. But here he is going into a hardcore Anarchy in the Arena, no rules weapons match. So, anyways, all these guys who loosely, I mean, did Danielson have anything to do with the Elite? Fighting the Elite? I mean, Kingston I could see because they had a little squabble. I guess.
Danielson? No.
Yeah, how did they get Danielson to join their team? I don't know.
Maybe he was very upset what happened with Tony Khan, and he's like Tony Khan's close friend or something.
Well, like you, Vlad, I watched Rampage, and Claudio Castagnoli was like upset that Bryan Danielson joined this match. Because he's like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. He's injured. He's hurt. He's on his own. I'm not going to help him. So that's what Claudio Danielson's Blackpool Combat Club teammate said about him being in this match. So, anyways, what did I say earlier about this being the worst? This is the worst
why do you think this is
Anarchy in the Arena or Stadium Stampede or Blood and Guts match that I could think of for this company.
And that's because
they're usually not bad. Yeah, I mean, Kingston, Danielson not really being involved. Like, you know, I don't know. It was just thrown together. You know, they're throwing Danielson at the end. FTR, I get that they're feuding with the Young Bucks and they don't like them, but I don't know.
It doesn't leave you actually wanting to see the match. Is that basically what you're saying?
Not really. I don't really care about this feud. It sucks because it's their main feud. I'm more into, like, I'll watch Christian against Swerve. I'll even watch Tony Storm against Serena Deeb. But this one I think is going to be a bullshit garbage match. So I'm kind of disappointed with this one. No, they're not all, you know.
I mean, all of these type of matches that you just mentioned, the Anarchy in the Arena, the Stampede, whatever match on the football field that they had.
Yeah, but at least those had really kind of good feuds leading up to it. Pretty good feuds, you know?
Some of them were.
Well, anyways, all right. That's all we got for this week. We've done all the shows from WWE and AEW pretty much. Well, not really. We didn't do Collision and Rampage, but...
You don't have to, trust me.
Another thing that was set up for the pay-per-view was Malachi Black against Edge in a steel cage, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I got through the show. I'm a little sick. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I have a cold.
I can't really tell. Now that you've mentioned it, you maybe sound a little nasally, but for the most part,
I mean, my nose is kind of. I got boogers running down my nose, but I've been trying to like just suppress it until we do this show. But okay. All right, then, guys. Let's say goodbye to the peoples who've been listening to us, the wrestling fans.
Peoples.
Goodbye, peoples.
Subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. We'll try to review all the modern wrestling, and if we can get to some classic stuff, if we have time, we do that sometimes, too. But for this week, that'll be it. Join us on social media. Add us on Instagram, TikTok, whichever one you want to use. X, I guess we have. We even have Threads, believe it or not. Malapert _Smark.
Good guy.
You can follow Robert at Roberto Vlad's not on social media. You can only find him here. Comments, make a comment in the videos if you want.
You can't find exactly.
And he might respond to you if you want to message him like that, but we'll see. Yeah, leave comments, guys. Come on. We want to hear what you have to say about the wrestling. But thank you very much for watching. That'll be it for this week. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.